welcome back. So what did you know about this event?
The only thing I knew is that we were planning for, on our anniversary day, to have couples dinners with several good friends, and then she finally began to tell me who some of the couples were. And we were going to plan, everyone was supposed to do a dance of some kind. And at first we were debating on what song should we use. And that was fun in itself, deciding on the song.
So I told him that we were going to do this couples evening, and I thought, well, let's do it on our anniversary. That was the first problem, because then he got upset with me for that. Why can't we do it on another day? It's our anniversary. Can't we do something? So I said, well, it's not a big one. It's 22, because I know if it was like 25, it would have been a no-go. And I basically said, well, it's other people's anniversary too, and so a couple of the other couples, it was close to around their time. So I said, well, it's going to be a celebration of all of us. So we're going to celebrate that time together, and we're going to do this fun night out like we usually do. So then he said, okay, I can agree to that. He said, well, what can I do to be a part of it? And so I had to say, well, no, the ladies are going to do it. It's all going to be the ladies. It's our turn. You don't get to have any say in it. So he was able to kind of give up some of the control because he knew that the guys weren't going to have the control, and it was going to be the ladies' thing.
You told me you were kind of upset about that situation because you didn't know. So just going through the process of, the 4 months, like what was going through your psyche?
Okay, no problem. So here's was a challenge for me. I would ask questions and get vague answers. I said, are we traveling out of town? Well, maybe. Okay, how far are we going? And the biggest thing for me was, if we're gonna come back home, why would we come back home? Why don't we just stay? Because it is our anniversary. Why not go stay overnight somewhere to commemorate the experience versus coming back home? So I would come to the car and pull into the driveway, and she'd be sitting in the car, and I'd have my hands out and she'd wave me away, or she would be on speakerphone coming into the house from the back door, and then all of a sudden, doop, off speakerphone and right to her face, continuing to talk, and I'm saying to myself, wow. So each month would go by, and I'd say, how's everything coming along? Everything's coming together. I'm like, okay, and she just kept saying to me all the time, the girls are really working hard. And then the whole big thing was us supposed to doing this dance together and deciding what song. So months go by, are we gonna practice? Yeah, we'll practice, and disclaimer, we only practice like 3 times. And I'm saying to myself each month, we need to practice. So then I began asking other fellas, hey, how's the songs coming along? And a lot of them at times were like, oh, we're going good, everything's going well. And then me asking Val also, who do you think is gonna try and outdo someone else? We got to do something, baby, that's really super fantastic. The Robertsons are normally going to try and go overboard and super uber, having a great time doing it. And I was concerned that we were not going to do something super great. So the whole journey for me was months going by. What are we doing? What are we not doing? How serious is this supposed to be? And not getting a lot of information. And then leading up to the week of, I just really reside to the fact of, it is what it is, we're going to hang out, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
That actually was good, because he was a little miserable.
No.
Yes.
No. You think so?
Yeah, you were a little miserable.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He kept trying to ask, well, can't we get a room someplace? Well, where are we going? Well, I have money, I can pay, we can get the room. And I went, no, we're going to come home, we're going to come home.
Mm-hmm.
And you kept trying to ask everybody where we were going so you could rent a room someplace.
Yes.
Without telling me.
Close enough, we can rent a room. Yeah, and here's something else that's important too. She's right. I do always plan our anniversary, whether she decides where we go or I say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. I always put something on Facebook, and this year was different. I started off with the phrase of, we're gonna be 22 on Saturday, June the 1st, and then me putting pictures out and explaining the significance of the pictures, because at this point, I don't know what we're going to do, but what I do know is I can at least express how I feel about her all week long leading up to our special day. And I think she thought at one point that I kind of knew what was going on, and I just was like, this is all I can do at this point.
No, I know. Everybody else does. I kept getting phone calls. Do you think he knows he's being really nice on Facebook? He keeps putting stuff. I said, no, that's just my husband.
Yes, yes. I've always expressed how I feel about my wife.
And then my question is, what dance were you guys doing?
Okay, so the dance was, first things first, Mrs. Garvin here loves the movie Dirty Dancing. And she wanted us to do the song Dirty Dancing, Time of My Life. And I looked at her and I said, absolutely hell no, we're not doing that. There's a KFC commercial right now someone brought to my attention about chicken and waffles playing the song.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm supposed to just catch her in the air like they do in the commercial. And I'm like, honey, we are not doing that. Why not? I'm like, no. We're not going to play that corny song. And everyone will look at us like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, no. So
He
then,
just thought it was corny.
yeah. And she thought this is a great idea. I'm like, no, it's not. We're not embarrassing ourselves in front of all of our friends. That's not happening. So then I said to her, we started thinking of songs. And of course, I thought about a song that we did that we renewed our vows for our 10-year, the song by Music Soul Child, Love. And no, As Long As Your Love Doesn't Change. And I said, this is an awesome song. And then we had to decide, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to do what?
Wait, I have to
What?
add. You were, I'm going to do some stuff, and I told you no.
Yeah, I got vetoed. I said I can do some steps in
No.
the end and you can just chime in with me.
No.
And she was like, we're not
No.
doing that either. And I said, well, we can both agree.
Besides, no.
Yeah, we can agree we're not going to do certain stuff. So then we actually went on YouTube to get some ideas for a dance. Doing ballroom dancing. And I said, okay, all right, well, let's try that. Let's see what happens.
No, it
And-
wasn't even ballroom. It was like
some Indian guy who was speaking English, and we just figured by him counting 1, 2, 3, 4, las alacladas, and that's not 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, well, we can
We
see
work it
what
out.
he's doing, and we can count, so let's do that. So that was kind of inspiration. I was thoroughly convinced that should we do like more of a hip hop kind of thing, like a fast tempo song? She's like, no. And then even practicing, we only practiced like 2 or 3 times. So when we practiced, I said to her, all right, well, let's see what we can do. And leading up to Friday, I'm like, are we going to practice?
We just kept changing.
Nah.
They
She's
just
like,
kept
nah, we're not
changing.
going to practice. I'm like, well, why not? We don't want to embarrass ourselves, babe. There's going to be like 7 or 8 couples. And if we don't look epic, this is going to be very, very bad. And she's like, well, whatever we do, no one's going to know that we messed up anyway. And I'm like, that's a good point. You're right. Only the 2 of us know that we screw up or not. So
It worked out. It worked out.
yeah, it worked out for us. Yeah.
Describe the night from both points of view. So, whoever
Okay.
wants to go first.
I'll go first. Let's do it. So Thursday, she comes in and tells me there's a change of plans. Wayne's gonna come over and pick you up. His car is not working right, so he's gonna borrow his wife's truck, and you're gonna ride with him in his truck. So I offered a suggestion of, well, does she need her truck? She couldn't give me an answer. I said, well, why don't I pick Wayne up, and then she can use the truck now instead, and then so there's no issues of you guys figuring out what you're gonna do. No, they're gonna come pick you up. All right, no problem at all. I said, well, I think I'm helping right now. She's like, nah, not at all. So then I said to her, I said, all right, no problem at all. So 5:30 is supposed to be pickup time. 5:45, it changed at 5:45. I said, all right, well, how far are we going? And at that point, she goes, they'll let you know when they come pick you up. Okay, great. So now the irony is that it would make sense for my friend Wayne to come pick me up first because I'm 5 minutes from his house, and then pick up Keith. He's 10 minutes from our house. So it would make sense for him to come get me first and then go get him. But then Wayne tells me that, no, I gotta pick up Keith first and then come get you last. And then I said, okay, if he's picking me up last, maybe we're going towards King of Prussia, Philadelphia, so maybe we're an hour away from where we need to be at. So I'm thinking, if we're traveling, if we're going towards Philly, yeah, I'll just figure out where we're at and just get a hotel room, stay there. But if it's closer, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna figure out because we're not coming back home. I'm like, we are going to stay out overnight. So then he comes by and picks me up late, riding around in the car. I said, so where are we going? He goes, they're gonna send me the address. And I said, well, why are we driving in the car right now, riding, if we don't know where we're going? And he was like, we'll be right. So then, of course, 5 minutes, 10 minutes go by, we're riding in the car. He goes, they just sent me the address. And I'm like, okay, so are we close? Are we far out from where we need to be? He was like, no, we'll be right. So we drive over, riding around, we're staying in the city. I'm like, where are we going in the city that you need directions for how to get there? So we pull over, and I'm saying to myself, this is it? This is where we're going? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, but where are we going? This is row homes in the city, brother. Where are we going? So we walk into this building, and I see some of the friends gathering around in the back, and I'm like, hey, maybe we're supposed to go around back. And then he says to me, he's like, no, we're supposed to go around through the front entrance. All right, great. So I was really definitely not sure what to do at that point.
We were running on CP time.
All right, okay, all right, that explains it.
Yeah, we were good. We were just trying to give everybody time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept checking to see who's downstairs. Oh, they're not here yet. Tell them to wait 10 more minutes. Oh, we're not here. Tell them to wait 5 more minutes. So we kept texting them, telling them, drive a little longer, don't come yet.
That's why. Okay,
right.
that explains
so
why.
So that's why we were waiting, and then a couple people didn't know exactly where it was. Someone said, well, just wait a couple more minutes. And he didn't want to pull around back because he didn't want you to see my van where it was parked back there.
Okay. Oh, would let me know that you're there already.
Because we were riding.
So then it wouldn't work. All right. Okay.
And originally, if somebody was there early enough, they were going to take my van and like take it around the corner or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys kind of got there at the same time. So I actually was on the phone with Monique as she was walking in, and I said, can you look around? Do you see Keith? Do you see Wayne? Do you see Matt? She's like, yeah, they're right here. I'm like, okay, all right, don't worry about it then. But she did not do the van or anything. And then we were done. We were waiting. We were waiting. We were ready and looking to see what was going to happen. And so Wayne knew what his cue was supposed to be when you were ready, and when he was ready, he was supposed to call Shell and pick a fight.
Oh!
Which is why he called Shell and said, where are you? Why aren't you guys here yet?
Okay.
That was to let us know that we could come
That
down.
we were ready. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But in the meantime, he told Monique, he said, I don't know who's supposed to be here. So he's like, I don't know if everybody's here because I don't know who's supposed to be here.
And who's not supposed to be here. Yeah.
So we had to run down the list to make sure everybody was downstairs who was supposed to be there.
Okay.
Before we could do that. And so I don't know if you noticed when you were talking to Wayne, telling him who everybody was there.
No,
and
I was getting hors d'oeuvres and walking around saying hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And wondering why my wife is not here and my best friend Keith and Wayne's wife is not either, so they're obviously all together somewhere. And then what does that look like? All these couples arriving, I done went and got hors d'oeuvres, I seen they got some fruit trays, veggie trays, I'm just chomping and munching on stuff. And like, hey, people coming over. I'm like, hey, I'm glad you guys came. And they're like, yeah, we wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm like, awesome, you know. And then someone said, where's Rob? I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm just hanging out. That's all I got as an answer. So then it gets interesting from this point here. So apparently Wayne comes up and says to me, hey, he goes, where are the girls at? I'm like, I don't know. Obviously all three of them are together, so something must be going on while they're late. And so at this point, I'm walking around, I'm eating, I'm just hanging out, enjoying it. People are coming in, and they say to me, hey, where's Val? I'm like, I have no idea. I know I'm supposed to be here, and they are also, but they're not. So I'm saying to myself, it is what it is. So then my man Wayne comes over and says, hey, man, I need to talk to you for a second. I'm like, what is it? So we walk out in this vestibule area, and he goes, bro, they're late. I'm like, obviously they're late. They're not here. He said, what are we going to do? I said, well, what he wants to do, go pick them up and tell him, hurry up, let's go. And like I said, we're supposed to be here, brother. I'm going to enjoy this food and I'm going to hang out. And then one of the friends named Wes tells me, hey, why don't you look up the steps? And I look up the steps and I see this amazing woman. And that's when I realize, wow, this is what's going on? Okay, all right then. So I was truly stunned and blown away. I had no idea.
you guys are talking a lot of trash.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was convinced. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do, brother? Well, go pick him up. Tell him, let's hurry up, let's go. Full disclaimer, I was going to blame this on Rochelle. Because she is always late for everything. And I was going to say, well, it's probably your wife anyway, for the last minute getting ready. And that's why they're probably behind. I said, so, and of course they're probably telling her, let's go. And she's the one that's holding everything up. But I did not say that, though.
She's going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
That wasn't me, that was him.
Yeah. I was ready to throw her roll. Because she's always late for stuff. She is always late for stuff. And and then Wayne's ready to go and she's never ready on time.
But that's because she always has to worry about everybody else.
And I guess so. Well, this was a day.
If you all would let her worry about herself, she'd be good.
Yeah. All right, well.
That's called being a mom.
I guess so. And he's learned patience for years. Yeah.
That was the point. So we were upstairs getting ready, and we were just standing there waiting. We were waiting, and we came to the end of the steps, and we were standing up on the top ledge of the steps for a good 5 minutes, letting y'all run your mouth. Right, letting y'all run your mouth for a good 5 minutes.
Wow.
And we were going, and we were cracking up laughing. We were, wow, they're being real extra, and just letting Wayne go to town, just and letting you go over and over and over and just say what you want to say. So it was funny because we were cracking up laughing and we were just waiting. And we just let the music run till it got to the chorus. Till we came down. And
I didn't even pay attention to music. I didn't hear anything else.
Yeah.
I was so awestruck.
But when I came down, I couldn't figure out from your face because you looked at my face and then I couldn't figure out if you.
It took me a brief moment. I was in awe of how amazing and beautiful she was.
I didn't even know if you noticed the dress, and you're like,
and then when she started walking down the stairs, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing today for our anniversary? Oh, all right. And then of course Wayne says, he goes, I'm going to officiate your ceremony. I'm like, ceremony? Oh, all right. And then I really paid attention to the dress at that point. I'm like, she's got a dress on. And she looks stunning and amazing. And I'm like, man, oh wow. And then we walked into the other room. So yeah, I was completely caught off guard. Yeah. You did a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really good experience just being upstairs and just trying to figure out kind of how to pull it off and what to do and who to get to do everything and what decisions to make. And my poor son, he spent 3 months with mom gone.
Yes. I was not aware. And for what it's worth, had she probably said something to Xavier in the process, he would have probably said something or here or two and would have me staring at his face. I'm like, so what do you mean? And I'd have been like, oh, so what's going on, son? And he's not good at keeping secrets, if you want to call it that. But I know I would have got it out of him sooner or later. And then Alondra even said to me, Dad, you look great. I'm like, yeah. I said, we're going to go to couples dinners with all my other friends. Oh, okay, no problem at all. And of course, once we got over to the event, I knew then we weren't going back home. I knew we were not staying at our house.
You just didn't know where we were going.
Exactly, yeah. I'm like, we're going somewhere out there, and I'll just be surprised with that too. So yeah. But
we can't be going home.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about this whole experience is, 27 years we've been a couple. We dated for 5 years, and we made a decision on June 1st, 1997, to be a couple. And be married. And the one thing I can say, like I posted on Facebook all this past week of, how do you know when that person's the one? And for me, being that she was the one, I just said to myself, I know why she's the one. I took the time and talked with God and prayed and thought the semester before that I met her of what I was looking for in a potential mate to be in a relationship with. And I've said this to her before, well, she knows. When we met, I said, hey, I've got a lot of female friends. I don't need any more. I'm looking for a commitment between two people, and if you're ready for that, great, but that's where I'm at. And then she says, well, no, and I'm like, so you don't want to be in a relationship? She's like, no, that's what I'm looking for as well. And I said, so it's me and you? And she's like, okay. And here we are, 27 years later and 22 officially married in front of God's eyes. So I couldn't be more happier.
This was, like I said, probably, it was the most fun. It was the most fun. I love to see you surprised. I hope we'll never do it again. Because you were miserable.
Well, I wasn't really that bad.
It's very hard. It is very, very hard. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was miserable. Was it that obvious?
Yeah.
I didn't think I was being miserable. I just was like, I'm so used to playing it all the time.
Yeah.
And this is the one time when I'm like, we're gonna have couples that are with friends on our anniversary. Oh, okay.
That was really hard.
And then of course Keith and Wayne were like, oh, happy anniversary, bro! Yeah, happy anniversary, bro! I'm like, oh yeah, it's our anniversary, right? But I guess I'm so used to expressing how I feel about her all the time, and then Facebook makes it easy to tell America of my love for her, and Mrs. Garvin here is not a fan all the time of doing something super elaborate either. I just want to just hang out.
I'm very low-key.
Don't put it on Facebook. I'm like, well, why not? And she's like, I don't want to do any of that. And so this was the first time where it was different. She told everyone, put the pictures on Facebook and post everything that you want to post. I'm like, wow. So it was
I'm not a
definitely
public
different.
person. I don't
No,
like
not
to.
at all.
I don't like to throw everything out there. I don't. So this was a different experience for me, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was so hard. I know this is your doing. This is what you like to do. This is how you like to. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process. I just know that watching it was miserable when you don't have control of something. I mean, I know that I like to have control.
You like to
of
have full control.
things.
Yes,
Yeah,
everything
but I know
else.
that
And this is
in
my
this
lane, I
situation,
guess,
this
yeah.
is your lane. Like, we need to stay in our lane. And I know that giving this up, giving our day up was really hard for you. That was really hard. And I mean, even just, we had many little arguments and blow-ups. I mean, even just going to get a suit was an argument.
And let me explain why.
Wait.
The reason why is that I have told her in life's journey, it really doesn't matter what we do as long as you're with me. If we went to a Phillies game or Eagles game, if I'm with you, that's all that matters. When I picked out or went on designing our suit, as long as you like it, it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And that's what I've always expressed to her. And one thing also that I've realized is that, I said to her about 4 or 5 years ago at our anniversary, I said, I just took for granted our relationship at one point through the years and just expecting you to be here and you're supposed to deal with me. And unfortunately, we live in an age where people give up in their relationships. There are people who do get divorced, and that's something that was never an option in my mind. And I said to her, I'll spend the rest of my days making you happy every day that I can. That's my mission and my job. You're a gift that God gave to me, and I value and appreciate you so much.
And I wanted him to go with his friends. I just wanted him to go sit with his friends. I just wanted him to go sit with his friends.
Yeah.
And he just was like, but I want to go with you.
And even the fact when I picked up some of the shoes, like, just do it, man. There's a process, and I just
kept telling him,
do this
there's
one
a
thing
process.
for me.
Can you do this for me?
Yeah, and I'm like, I said, there is no process. Now we're letting everyone know what I'm wearing, and I'm like, I don't think that's fair that no one else is telling me what they're wearing. Could you just please, Mike? And I'm like, all right, so I did apologize. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm like, all right, apparently Wayne knows what I'm wearing now, and I guess I have to accept that, So,
Why do they have to know what I'm wearing? I know what I'm wearing. As long as you like it, I don't care what they think.
yeah, because I'm not here to impress anyone except you. Even to the barber shop, my whole facial hair was all woofed out, a hot mess leading up to Friday. I said, what do you want the man to shape it down to look like?
I
She
had
sent
sent
me
him
pictures. This is what I want your facial hair to look like. I'm like, all right. So I sent him to him. I sent him count. This is what needs to happen. But he was like, all right, I'll try it. I'm like, don't try to do. This is what it needs to look
I had to
like.
send him pictures. Because he would have kept texting me. And he would have kept calling me if I didn't tell him exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. Amen.
But it worked out.